Star Wars Squadrons has been out for more than a week now. It has been receiving some good reviews and, personally, is so far really fun. The community seems absolutely chuffed with it, although that seemed inevitable given how hyped they were, especially on the subreddit. And it has managed to win over some in the flight sim and VR enthusiast communities as well. It isn't a smash hit by any means, but it's been very well received by the intended target market. Obviously, being a flight sim game and not a game of a simpler genre, many Star Wars games fans chose to skip out on the experience. That, coupled with the game being set in only one era, having 8 ships and not having a blowout 10 out of 10 story campaign, has led to a certain type of gamer, we all know the one I'm talking about, to seize on these facts as an opportunity to whine and complain and set their sights on EA for one more unsuccessful attempt at taking them down. While this doesn't matter overall, unfortunately it might dissuade some people from picking up the game. As stupid and less relevant as the days goes by as it is, some people see that or the user score on Metacritic paired with a respectable 75 or higher, and they might be put off. That is if they're just casually viewing the page. A real look into the user reviews will show praise, reasonable scores attached to reasonable criticisms, and then just a bunch of sad people talking about their race and sexual identity and not at all about the actual game, lol. Now, a good counteraction to being in not so steady of a starting position, being a niche game at all, and to respond to the whines of trolls would be extremely effective marketing. Something Motive hasn't really managed to achieve, not that they've done bad at all, but they haven't been able to knock it out the park due to a number of factors. EA probably didn't provide them with enough of a marketing budget, they probably underestimated their starting position even among Star Wars games fans, and probably the biggest point, it must be really fucking difficult to translate how it actually feels to play the game onto a commercial. Seriously, how on earth do you begin to demonstrate how technical this game feels to play without actually putting it in the hands of people and letting them experience the various amounts of ways you can play this game? I certainly can't think of one method of marketing that can actually translate the feeling of flying any one of the ships, let alone doing well in flying one of the ships and taking down flagships with a squadron of your friends. To be fair, the Hunted CG trailer was a masterstroke. ILM worked their magic once again and managed to capture the emotions that mostly come along with playing the game. I mean, piloting a starfighter. It's exciting, well-paced, slick, and even though it is short, it gets you to empathize with the characters and the situation, which translates well over to the game, but still doesn't capture the feeling of actually piloting the ship. Now, my perfect marketing strategy, if all the problems I mentioned earlier just disappeared, which remember one of the problems with them was money given to them by EA, but ignoring that, the perfect strategy I would think of would be to gift a bunch of mega popular streamers and streamers popular in the flight sim and Star Wars games community with VR sets, hotel sets, and the game in exchange for like 10 hours or so of on-screen gameplay. Popularity sells, and putting the controls in the hands of actual players so they can experience what it's like is probably the best way to sell the game. Alas, that is so obviously unrealistic, it's never going to happen, but it's fun to think about. The word of mouth that it would have produced is insane, and as I'm saying that, the word of mouth is proving to be an incredibly effective tool, so much so that people are actually getting the game and requesting more content. There has been some serious questioning of Motive's no post-launch support policy in recent days, as so many people are excited to delve deeper into the game itself, proving that it is a worthwhile experience for most Star Wars fans, and hell, even flight sim and VR fans as well. Now, of course, I think post-launch content was never planned for. What is incredibly more likely is that EA planned to release a game in late 2020 to close out the current generation and introduce themselves in 2021 with Battlefield, when more people are actually likely to have the new consoles. Thus, making sure Squadrons has about 8 months of content for hardcore players, and probably no more, would allow them time for their new games on the new generations to be hyped. In conclusion, Squadrons has an uphill battle to attract players outside of the main fanbase, with not enough money to market the game and naturally smaller player base compared to other online Star Wars titles. Sad people, unhappy that the world doesn't revolve around them, premature boycotters, a very unfortunate inability to fully translate how it feels to play to marketing materials, the lack of resources to provide a promise to support the game post-launch, and the loss of momentum caused by all these problems. Squadrons has a tough time ahead, but it seems to be doing well among all the fan base regardless. Luckily, the team's spirits seem high. They seem happy with what they've created, and what they've created is actually pretty good, so they have every reason to. And they have a very positive, never say never attitude. This will certainly provide them with many more positive experiences to come. All these problems surround the game, and isn't really the fault of the developers, neither is it something they can easily fix, which is unfortunate. I can't think of a modern Star Wars game that has had so much just external forces pushing against it. But the fact that this game still feels so fun to play and the community feels so wholesome and fun to be around is an incredibly good sign. Hopefully, this game will continue to be played for hopefully years to come.
Nice. I went in with the Y-wing as well.
Nice. Nice.
Woo!
Perfect.